how's it going? For today's video, let's take an up-close and personal, in-depth look at the all-new 6th generation 2015 Ford Mustang Fastback. This is going to be an in-depth combination review of both the GT and newly introduced Ecoboost. We'll start them up, get some sound shots, go over detailed performance specs, unique aspects, and much more. In addition to comparing trim levels between this base Silver GT, Red GT Premium, and Blue Ecoboost Premium. We'll also highlight the options shown here, such as the 50th anniversary and performance packages. And before we begin, I'd like to take a moment to extend a big thanks and special shout out to Green Ford, located in Greensboro, North Carolina, for providing both the silver and blue Mustangs, whereas Parkway Ford in Winston-Salem, North Carolina provided the red Mustang featured in today's in-depth review. For more information on respective inventories, contact information and links can be found in the description box below.
And so, without further ado, let's go ahead and start her up, let her run. As you can see, remote start is an available feature, a part of this premium package. A nice standard feature across the entire Mustang lineup is an intelligent access smart key system, so you can keep the key fob in your pocket and utilizing the touch sensors on both the driver and passenger side door handle, you're able to lock and unlock the vehicle. So in order to lock the vehicle, all you have to do is just tap the little red portion on the handle. Then after waiting a second, just grab the handle. There's a touch sensor located behind it that automatically unlocks the vehicle. This exterior color is known as Deep Impact Blue Metallic, and is contrasted by the 50th anniversary's unique perforated raven black leather interior with white color accent stitching found throughout.
Along with the Intelligent Access Smart Key system, the Mustang now features standard remote push-button ignition via the red accented button at the bottom of the center stack. All you have to do to start is either put your foot on the brake for automatic cars or foot on the brake and clutch for manual cars, and then just hit it to go. First, we'll go ahead and power up the Ecoboost, and then go ahead and jump to the GT. Now let's go ahead and fire up the GT. The Mustang now features a selectable effort electric assist rack and pinion steering system, which allows drivers to be able to select between 3 different modes: comfort, normal, and sport, adjusting the feedback and firmness accordingly. It's all routed through a beautifully detailed 3-spoke leather-wrapped multifunction steering wheel trimmed in polished aluminum and chrome brightwork, not to mention modest grip bolsters up top and optional color accent stitching. Also available in Mustang premium models, including the Ecoboost and GT, are 4 selectable driving modes, located amongst the polished toggle switches in the bottom of the center stack. The base cars don't have quite the level of electronic gadgetry or the unique switchgear, but still retain the adjustable steering via a traditional button. Exploring the toggles from the left, you have the hazards, traction control, adjustable steering, and drive modes, ranging from normal, sport plus, track, and snow wet. In the default normal mode, the car delivers a balance of handling and long-term comfort, while activating Sport Plus yields more responsive steering and throttle response. When equipped with the automatic gearbox, the shift points are altered, holding gears longer for more spirited driving. Track mode alters the stability system in addition to dialing up the other systems to approach the very limits of performance and handling on the track. Activating Snow Wet mode puts a priority on stability and safety, keeping the car planted during negligent road conditions. As far as available transmissions, like before, you can choose between a standard Getrag 6-speed manual gearbox or Ford's Select Shift 6-speed automatic, which, for the first time, now features steering wheel mounted paddle shifters, not to mention rev-matching downshifts. For improved feel, the manual gets some key updates including revised low-drag synchros and stiffer linkages. To activate reverse, you simply pull up on the little shift collar and move it to the left and up, rather than pushing down as before. A backup camera with adaptive guidance lights is standard across the board. Launch control is standard on the GT, in addition to another unique feature known as Line Lock, which holds the front brakes and essentially calibrates the car to perform perfect burnout. The idea behind Line Lock is for use on the track, heating up the tires for the best possible traction. Power is sent to the rear wheels through a limited slip differential with torque vectoring. With a revised final drive, Ford offers a variety of rear axle ratios that vary between powertrain options. Performance packages for the Ecoboost and GT shorten the ratios even further for livelier acceleration.
So let's go ahead and flip on the automatic LED accented projector xenon headlamps, fog lamps, and the hazards. Both windows are fully automatic. And we're going to check out the exterior. Upon closing the door, the exterior and interior will chime a few times to let you know it's lost detection of the proximity key fob.
The 6th generation Mustang was designed from a clean sheet of paper. From the ground up, everything is new, improved, and redesigned to make this the best performing, most efficient, and refined Mustang to date. Since 1964, Mustang has represented the original pony car, with over 9 million units sold in the last half-century. Its immense popularity and success over the years in both performance and culture begs an important question. How can one truly improve upon an American icon? Unlike last year's Mustang, the all-new 2015 takes a giant leap forward, a revolution rather than evolution, debuting plenty of innovative technologies in both safety and comfort. There's now a fully modern, independent rear suspension, more passenger and cargo space, and a level of premium quality never before seen in a Mustang. Contrary to what some may think about the modern styling, I believe it's one of the Mustang's greatest assets. Ford did a spectacular job giving the iconic pony car a thoroughly fresh, contemporary look while still retaining signature cues that tie in its historical lineage. It's a style that can be only truly appreciated in person, definitely less retro when looking at the car as a whole, but when you take a close look at the details, therein lies its true beauty. The biggest difference is that the new Mustang doesn't appear as big and brawny or carry the raw muscle car look like its predecessor and closest competition. This is a car that's fully modern, but still carries a number of subtle retro touches to give it a signature cool factor, right down to the aluminum since 1964 placard on the dash. Contrary to what some people may thought through initial reports, there still was a little bit of weight gain from last year. I think it's between 150 and 190 pounds or so depending on how equipped, but the car looks a whole lot leaner than it did before. The sheet metal packs plenty of creases, curves, and tucked areas that give it a more aggressive sports car look, while being substantially more refined and thought out. It rides on the same 107.1-inch wheelbase as before, with a number of dimensional changes that make it wider and lower than before. For starters, the body is 1.5 inches wider overall, with the ride height 1.4 inches lower to the ground for a hunkered down performance stance. The chassis itself benefits from a 28% increase in torsional rigidity for the Fastback and 15% for the convertible. Up front, Mustang wears an adaptation of Ford's corporate trapezoidal grille, with the fog lights being relocated at either side of the lower fascia, which sports an aggressive air splitter and wheel aero curtains. They're the vertical slots in the outer edge of the front fascia and help channel air around the wheels and down the body. Each engine choice receives a unique grille to balance airflow, drag, and cooling respectively. The Ecoboost even has active grille shutters that close when extra cooling isn't needed, further decreasing drag. All in all, 2015 marks the most aerodynamic Mustang to date with a drag reduction of around 3%. The headlamps wrap around the body with slanted LED accents that mimic a similar style seen in the grille of the original Mustang. The hood was lowered by 1.3 inches and is highlighted by a dominant power dome hood that extends over the windshield cowl. On GT models, functional heat extractors help improve cooling and airflow through the engine compartment. Aluminum makes up a few of the exterior panels, including the hood and front fenders, in addition to other various components in the suspension and drivetrain. The roofline is 1.5 inches lower than before, and more reminiscent of a '69 Fastback, with the rear glass and trunk lid molding together to create a single silhouette. The greenhouse and A-pillars reside further back than before, with a more steeply raked windshield that gives the car a longer look that's further defined by the chiseled hood. The car is actually a fraction of an inch shorter in length, and just goes to show you how much of a dramatic difference proportions can make. The side glass is now continuous with the obvious lack of a visible B-pillar. Out back, the car is much more rounded and sculpted, with a 2.75-inch lower deck lid. The vertical LED tail lamps continue with tradition in a modern way, with GT cars wearing a prominent deck lid badge among its all-black housing. If that's not enough, the rear track is actually wider by 2.8 inches, giving the Mustang a larger footprint to go along with the new independent rear suspension. In celebrating the Mustang's 50th anniversary, Ford is also offering a 50 years appearance package, available only on the GT Premium and Ecoboost Premium as shown here. It includes a variety of add-ons including unique luster nickel 19-inch wheels, chrome-highlighted front upper grille, rear vestibule gas cap badge, floor mats, special seat and padded door trim, dash panel badge, and chrome taillight surrounds. If you're looking for that extra dose of performance, Ford also offers an extra performance package for both the EcoBoost and GT only. In general, the cars receive upgraded components such as stiffer springs, bushings, and rear monotube dampers. A larger radiator up front provides better thermal management on those long track days. A thicker rear anti-roll bar, in addition to a K-brace up front, help keep the excess body roll in check. Other common retuned themes include the stability control, electric steering, ABS, while an extra set of gauges replace the center air vent in the dash. Unique add-ons for the Performance EcoBoost include the standard GT brakes, shorter 3.55:1 final drive ratio, and unique 19:9 gloss black wheels with summer tires. On the other hand, the Performance GT receives larger front brakes, an even shorter 3.73:1 final drive, torsion limited slip differential, strut tower brace, and its own unique black wheels that are half an inch wider in the rear and unique air splitter up front. The spoiler is also deleted. The Mustang is available with a wide variety of wheel styles and sizes ranging from 18 to 20 inches in diameter, including these 18-inch Foundry alloys, 19-inch 50th anniversary alloys, and 19-inch Performance Pack alloys. On the 50th, the unique wheels measure 19 by 9 inches at each corner, wrapped in two 55/40 summer tires. Step it on up to the Performance Pack and you'll receive these gloss black web spoke wheels measuring 19 by 9 inches in front and 19 by 9.5 inches in the rear, wrapped in two 55/40 and two 75/40 Pirelli P0 high-performance summer tires respectively. They're tested to hold around 0.92 G of lateral cornering forces. There's also a variety of braking packages, with the V6 and EcoBoost models receiving 12.6-inch rotors at each corner, clamped by two piston calipers in front and single piston calipers out back. With the EcoBoost Performance Package, rotor size increases to 13.9 inches in front and 13 inches in the rear, with 4 piston calipers in front and single piston calipers in the rear, which can halt the EcoBoost to a stop from 60 miles an hour in about 106 feet. These brakes actually make up the standard GT setup unless you opt for the Performance Package, which comes with even larger 15-inch discs in front with beefy 6-piston Brembo calipers, which allow the GT to be brought to a complete stop from 60 in about 108 feet. The biggest news in the handling department is the all-new independent integral link rear suspension, which replaces the antiquated live axle. It should yield better ride quality and better composure when going through the corners. Tuned for higher performance driving, it also features aluminum knuckles for reduced unsprung mass. Up front is a redesigned independent McPherson strut setup with dual lower ball joints, in addition to a new perimeter subframe designed to stiffen the structure and limit mass, which leads to improved steering and handling characteristics over its predecessor. Overall length is 188.3 inches with a width of 75.4 inches and a height of 54.4 inches, riding on a 107.1 inch wheelbase. Depending on the engine and how equipped, the Mustang weight can range anywhere from 3,600 pounds to 3,800 pounds, with just over half the weight riding over the front axle. Now let's talk about the Mustang's 3 available engine options. Continuing as the base engine for 2015 is the 3.7-liter V6, which is essentially unchanged, except peak torque is available 250 fewer RPM with a slight reduction in peak horsepower, producing 300 horsepower at 6,500 RPM and 280 pound-feet of torque at 4,000 RPM. But as before, the top-line GT is powered by Ford's fabulous all-aluminum 5-liter Coyote V8, with dual overhead cams, 4 valves per cylinder, port fuel injection, dual variable valve timing, and a compression ratio of 11:1. It produces 435 horsepower at 6,500 RPM and 400 pound-feet of torque at 4,250 RPM. The red line is 6,750 RPM and a top speed of 164 miles an hour. This represents a gain of 15 horsepower and 10 pound-feet of torque compared to last year's model. Ford achieved these gains by incorporating a few key upgrades, some of which borrowed from the 444 horsepower Boss 302, such as the forged connecting rods, stiffer valve springs, and larger valves with increased lift, in addition to higher flow cylinder heads and tubular headers. An extra oil cooler was added for better thermal management. Performance numbers include 0 to 60 times around 4.5 seconds, with quarter-mile times around 13 seconds at 111 miles an hour. As far as fuel economy, the Mustang carries a 16-gallon tank. For the V8, premium gas is recommended for maximum performance, and is rated by the EPA as 15 miles a gallon in the city and 25 on the highway. The newcomer on the block, representing the mid-range engine, is an all-new 2.3-liter turbocharged Ecoboost 4-cylinder. The all-aluminum engine also employs double overhead cams, 4 valves per cylinder, and dual variable valve timing, but also carries direct injection and a compression ratio of 9.5 to 1. It produces 310 horsepower at 5,500 RPM and 320 pound-feet of torque as low as 2,500 RPM thanks to 18 PSI of boost. That's 10 horsepower and 40 pound-feet of torque more than the V6, with power arriving even earlier in the RPM range while touting superior fuel economy. While similar in core design to the Transverse 2.3-liter used in the recently launched Lincoln MKC and upcoming Focus RS, there are many unique changes that make the Mustang's longitudinal application stand out. These include a special block design, redesigned intake, 2-stage variable engine mounts, and more, not to mention upgraded internals such as forged steel connecting rods and crankshaft. New piston design aid in durability and bump and compression. Forced induction is developed through a new twin-scroll Honeywell turbocharger, the first application in an Ecoboost engine. The twin-scroll design not only helps aid in efficiency, but it also allows boost to spool up faster and help negate turbo lag. This translates to 0 to 60 times around 5.2 seconds, with quarter-mile times around 14 seconds at 98 miles an hour. Top speed is limited to 149 miles an hour. As expected, fuel economy numbers are increased, with the ability to run on regular fuel or premium for maximum performance. The EPA rates it at 21 miles to a gallon in the city and 32 on the highway. As dramatic of a departure as the exterior is, the interior is on a whole new level. Even in the base trim, it doesn't feel like a stripped-out model. Build quality, materials used, and ergonomics are much improved over the last gen. Just about everything is wrapped in soft materials or leathers with optional accent stitching, providing a comfortable environment. There's still harder plastic across the upper and lower portions of the doors though, unless you go with the 50th anniversary package, which adds a higher degree of soft padding up top. Tailored accent stitching in leatherette replaced the partial cloth on the doors in premium trims. For the first time, there's even a whole host of available safety tech, including adaptive cruise, blind spot monitoring, cross-traffic alert, and more. The seating surfaces are wrapped in cloth in the base trim, with leather being available in the premium variants. While the cloth fabric has a cool ribbed pattern to it, the leather-clad buckets look supple, highly detailed, and of much higher quality than the previous Mustang. You also have power sliding tilting functions with manual recline and powered lumbar for the driver's seat. Double accent stitching aids to the premium look, while the 50th anniversary adds special trim and patterns to the leather surfaces, including the embossed logo in the backrest. Perforations keep everything nice and ventilated with the available heating and cooling features. With premium models, you have aluminum polished door entry guards and aluminum sport pedals. Across the board, you have double the airbags as the previous model, including knee airbags and a manual tilt telescoping steering wheel. While the double-hooded retro-inspired dash continues, the setup is fully modern. styled in a way that's reminiscent of an airplane cockpit. There's plenty of chrome brightwork, circular air vents, and toggle switches below, with a heavy bit of aluminum across the dash that flows across the sides. You'll notice when comparing the base trim that the premium trim has aluminum door entry guards and sport pedals, not to mention more of an aluminum treatment across the dash that comes across the sides. All Mustangs have a padded dash, but it's a little bit of a higher quality in the premium trim with the double accent stitching. All finished off with a black headliner.
So let's go ahead and see how she sounds. So let's go ahead and shut her up. Nice solid panels.
The standard 6-speaker audio system features an AM/FM radio, a single-disc CD player, along with Ford's Sync voice recognition, App Link, and 911 Assist, not to mention 2 USB charging ports. It's all routed through a 4.2-inch LCD display. In GT Premium and Ecoboost Premium, speakers increase to 9 in total, paired with the latest version of Ford's MyFord Touch infotainment system with an 8-inch LCD touch display and satellite radio. The top tier as seen in this Ecoboost Premium is an optional Shaker Pro audio system with 12 speakers, rear-mounted subwoofer, and HD radio.
Of course, your side curtain airbags, padded visors with 3-position garage home link off to the right, water dimming view mirror, and on the top stack you have your 2 reading lamps and microphone for the hands-free Bluetooth telephone.
So now let's quickly run through the MyFord Touch system. As you can see, all of the main functions are located in 4 main quadrants. In the bottom left you have your media and entertainment, bottom right you have your climate control. Hands-free Bluetooth telephone is located in the top left, and it'll automatically ask you to pair it if you don't have one connected. You can voice dial, store numbers and contacts, and much more, typical of a modern Bluetooth system in a car. Navigation is an optional feature for the Sync system, otherwise it just brings up your compass and vehicle information, so you have your apps, 911 Assist, calendar, alerts, sync services, and more. In the bottom middle you'll find the Home button and Settings screen. The settings allow you to customize various aspects of the system from clock, display, audio adjustments, and a few other detailed settings. Across the center stack, a single zone climate control setup is standard, but a part of the premium package, you get a dual zone electronics setup, with automatic modes, temperature adjustments on either side in a knurled aluminum-like fashion, and 3-stage heated and ventilated seats, front and rear defrost, recycling, and more. You can also control all of those same features through the MyFord Touch system, in a similar fashion like you would find them below.
Similar to the dash, the center stack is also padded on either side, whereas in this premium model, the stitching is real up top. Just like the base model, the stitching is a faux material on either side, but still gives the look of a premium material. Down below you have a small storage tray, the USB port, and 12-volt power outlet. 2 cup holders, chrome accented, and a padded center console with the matching color accent double stitching. A modest amount of space with a 12-volt power outlet, USB port, SD card slot, and an auxiliary input. You can also open the center console from either side.
On the left-hand side of the dash, there's also a little bit of storage for change and the like.
As far as the steering wheel, on the left-hand side, this little controller stack corresponds to the driver information system. Down below, your cruise control. Off to the right, hands-free telephone and voice commands.
Please say a command.
Help.
Main menu. Say a device name, like phone, climate, USB, CD, or radio. To get help with the specific device, say the device name and help, like phone help. You can interrupt me at any time by pushing the voice button. Phone.
Cancel.
Canceling.
And your radio controls are off to the far right. The stalk to the right corresponds to your wipers. As far as the driver information system, using the little arrows on the left-hand spoke of the steering wheel, you can go up and down, select menus by either pressing OK or hitting the right-hand arrow. You can display different things, status gauges, trip, fuel information, track apps, accelerometer, lateral Gs, acceleration times, of course, all to be used on track. Driver assistance features, not to mention settings to customize options like the My Key parental system, My Color, gauge color, ambient illumination, and that's pretty much it. The gauges aren't quite as retro-styled as before, but have a new fresh look and actually spell out on either side revolutions per minute and ground speed. Definitely pretty cool, I think. Alrighty. We'll go ahead and shut her down. And check out the back seat.
To gain access to the back seat, all you have to do is just flip up the little lever on the backrest and flip the seat forward. Then have to use the power adjustment to go ahead and slide it forward, making enough room so you can climb in and out. But like last year, backseat room is still quite cramped for taller people and really suitable for smaller individuals or even children. If you can sit back there, I imagine it's a pretty comfortable place to be. There's plenty of lateral support, they sit down like deep buckets, and they're also detailed quite nicely. While headroom is an issue, the biggest hindrance is legroom. One nice thing is that the rear seats can be folded down easily to allow for more cargo space into the trunk. Due to more clever repackaging of the trunk area, largely and thanks to the new independent rear suspension, you can fit a little bit more cargo space. All in all, space is around 13.5 cubic feet and enough to fit 2 full-size sets of golf clubs. Like I said a second ago, you can also fold down the rear seats to extend the cargo space all the way to the front.
The passenger seat also features a power sliding feature, but doesn't have the extra lumbar support that the driver's seat has. Height adjustment is also manual. The glove box is locking, with a modest amount of space. There's even a small cubby that you could store your owner's manual in.
The Ford Mustang purely defines Americana. It's a nameplate and lifestyle that resonates well through the years with generations of loyal fans. The idea, icon, and classic has been rebooted to create the most refined Mustang to date. One thing I know is certain, the next decade of the original pony car should be quite the exciting one.
Well everyone, I hope you enjoyed the in-depth look at the all-new 2015 Ford Mustang. Be sure to stay tuned next time, there's a lot more where that came from. Take care everybody.